for Mike and me here on Thursday. Bat the ball around in the markets. Mike, how you doing? Saw you were working hard last night at the disco, and glad to have you here.
I call it, the funny thing is I call it a disco too. It's not even what I did, it's what I call it. I
Yeah,
had
so
soda pop. No,
you got together with your Trading Warrior brothers, like a reunion you guys do every year, and this is how tough Mike is. No sleep and still firing, ready to go. I have a couple things I want to cover here, Mike. First of all, I'm still negative the dollar, but in particular, I'm pretty bullish commodity currencies. And people have been watching the videos and posts in the room. I've been talking about the short side of Canada from in here, and we're on the verge of a trapdoor opening under 136.80.
mhm,
Actually, this is going to be a campaign trade because look how much distribution you've had. This is a weekly chart. We've been moving sideways, which is not to me a continuation formation, but a topping pattern. Wickoff would say it's a distribution top that we have. And the next stop is, here at 36. Eventually, I think we're going to get down to 132-ish and break that as well. And one of the reasons is there's a correlation between Canada and what do they produce? A lot of energy.
yeah,
All right. So,
I'm
a
in
lot
them.
of people, yeah. So a lot of people are bearish WTI because the global growth isn't that great, demand
Correct.
isn't that great. But a buddy of mine sent me an article that Kuwait had a blackout. I mean, there's one of the major oil producers in the Middle East had a blackout yesterday, and that they may have to use more of their oil for generating electricity than exporting it. And just a technical case, if we get something like this from here, the recent low, this is a weekly, we're going to be pressing 100 or higher.
I can't agree
So,
more.
that's going to be very bullish Canada and bearish USD CAD. You could say the same about Aussie and other commodity currencies paired differently, but
Uh-huh.
all we're doing is moving sideways. The Aussie looks good. And I don't know, call me someone who likes to hear the ice crack. No one wants to buy the euro right now because of what's happening with the elections
Sure.
politically, and Le Pen could gain more strength. So everyone's saying the euro's a no touch or a short. And when I hear that, it's a no touch. To me, it's an opportunity to grab it with both hands. And
Agree.
that's what
And
I'm
that
doing
like it's
here.
like a natural like a natural gas thesis. I mean, this looks cleaner, but
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the no touch. That chart looks a lot better on a lot of no touches I look at, but I understand why, and
Yeah.
I know the trade.
Yeah, they're worried about the fundamentals. So anyway, this low here last week was 78% back from this. So I know we're down today and cable's lower today. I'd be looking to buy cable a little cheaper, 26.20 if it was offered. I've been wrong about the yen. It's pushing up again because this is part of my yield story, and I've been real right about TLT in 10 years, and we're getting a pullback in TLT. I think the pullback should be bought, if
Yeah,
offered, around 92, being wrong under 90, because I think this is just the beginning of it. And 10-year yields, I'm even more bullish on the notes, even though yields are popping here right now from this 420 level. We had a failure here that was 78.6 back to this, which was the highs at 5. And then we had a pullback and then another pop, which was 78% of this. And now we're at major support at 420. And if 420 gives, I think we're going to take out these lows and maybe trade down to
giddy up.
350, 350, and maybe even 3. So this should be jet fuel for risk, right? Lower yields, lower dollar, and I think it will be for a while. But I think eventually the question will be asked if we're at a 3% 10-year, Mike.
Yeah, 3%. I'm listening. Yeah, of course.
Why? why are we here? And I think part of the answer is going to be economic weakness. Okay, that's why we're going to be down there, because we'll start getting some sloppy employment numbers. We're getting the good inflation numbers. So I think part of the reason rates are going to drop is because there might be some weakening in the U.S. economy. So that's where I stand right now. And oh, one last thing. People keep asking me, Dale, where's the top? Where's the top?
Oh
Where's the
God.
top? And I said, I don't know. Why don't you wait and let the market tell you? Okay. And,
Can I
we have,
extrapolate on that?
yeah, go ahead.
I'd rather short than that. I have a better chance we do of making more money short when the Nasdaq. Listen, I get it, but you're gonna catch. I'd rather. You're going to make more money shorting the Nasdaq when it's down 1.5 to 2% on the day than you are. Listen, I'm aware a lot of the majority of intraday of reversals lately don't come overnight, i.e., how the Nasdaq kind of they come the majority of the time intraday. But and if you want that when the Nasdaq's down 1.5 to 2%, that's when you want to be shorted. I don't, Apple. We talked about all the Apple's down 3 now, so that it's how much off the high.
Okay. So
But
the point I wanted to make by letting the market tell you is wait for a key reversal. And this has the makings of key reversal. Key reversal is a classic charting pattern where the market takes out the prior day's high and the prior day's low and then closes lower on the day. I don't see any of them here all the way up. I don't see any of them. Here was one. Okay. And it didn't really work, but it worked for a correction. At least you had something to sell against. All right. It never took out this high off the reversal, tried, but didn't. And so this was, so look for something like this at an all time high. It's all parabolic advances that I've seen in, 30 years. So, I mean, let's go to the parabola of parabolas. That's got to be
I'm in that.
NVIDIA,
Oh,
right? So wait for the same thing. Wait for a key reversal to short NVIDIA, where it takes out the prior day's high and the prior day's low. And even better is if you get a daily reversal followed up by it being a weekly reversal.
that's it right there, coach.
Okay,
That's
so
that's the money. That's the really the weekly. The big people look at the weekly closes. The
okay,
real,
so
real. The coach.
yeah,
You
yeah,
edified that.
Friday.
Yeah,
So you could even wait for a weekly reversal, and you won't catch the top, but at least you'll have a reason for attempting a short, and that's where I'm going to leave it here, Mike. So um, also be careful with Bitcoin. That's something else I think that people aren't really paying attention to. This is a failing rally. I think we're going at least to here with an outside shot later in the year being 40,000. Okay, so um, and Bitcoin should give you a little pause in the market because it's it's an
it's a
alpha
key. You know
trade.
what Bitcoin is, coach?
What?
It's with what? It's a sign of liquidity in the market.
Okay, so if it's coming off, that means the opposite.
That's correct.
All right, so I mean it's
I
gone
didn't make
nowhere.
that up, and that's what's been driving it. People that forgot more than I even know. That's what they say.
Okay, well it hasn't gone anywhere since March 11th, and here we are. It's been moving sideways for
Yeah,
two
but the
months.
stocks are outperforming. Some of the stocks that I'm playing are outperforming them.
Okay. All right, so I guess you ride that as long as you want. I'm just saying that technically the underpinnings of it, whatever is driving the stocks, maybe it's different, but like you mean like coin and stuff. So we'll take a look at those. I just wanted to lay out the warning that Bitcoin looks like it's in a corrective stage. Okay,
Yeah.
and the charts are all yours. So
Cool.
what are you seeing in sweeps?
That's a good question. I didn't even look at them yet.
Okay,
It's kind of a it has a feel of a little bit of a holiday trading. Yesterday being
yeah,
Juneteenth, and Friday. I think tomorrow's Quad Witch, coach, isn't it?
yeah.
All right, so I used to love to trade quad witch because a lot of things trade upon bids and asks, but
Right.
now it's a little bit that used to be more blocky where I could but now it's a little bit more. So I can't make a long story short. Be aware, I could see it right now. Although I'm here, I was in New York City literally 12 hours ago, and I'm here now because I want to be. Also, have a duty to the most majority of TradeGate members, which I take very seriously, even more than my own positions, if you will. I digress. But I'll go to the charts right now. I don't see many sweeps. Like Ocean Island Trader said, something like a chart, let me go to my chart here, like a Chewy, he asked about. And I'm glad that the room or more traders, as we are getting more volume, coach. You can see that obviously. And it's
Yeah.
not like Chewy. And I'll tell you, OT, I call him Ocean Island Trader, asked about Chewy. Okay, first of all, stocks made a 1-2. You could say it's a pullback going to a 3 drive. Would you say that, coach?
No, it just looks like a stock that's broken out and it's following through.
Yeah, okay. And stocks that are there's the weekly. By the
Okay.
way, I want to talk about one of the points we said about the big, really funds are big guys. It's all about the weekly close. Everybody should know, and I missed it. Now I'm actually upset, but I digress. The 50-day moving average, coach. You know how I feel about that. That's in
Yeah.
baby blue.
Yeah.
There's where Chewy came after a huge move. And but what came with the huge move? Okay,
Look at that green
options.
volume door.
Yeah, well, this is you can go to daily. All right, volume, price
Yeah.
action, and this had a lot of option sweeps, coach. Even this
Yeah.
dog, look, the ancillary dog, the like the warrant of,
Wolf.
if you will, went
Okay.
from $1. So let's go back to Chewy.
That
Getting back
still
to
looks good too.
yeah. So Ocean Island Trader asked a very good question: is Chewy a buy here? And no matter what the entity, seriously, what you want to see is, for it to pull back a little bit of volume. Made a nice move. I'm not sure about the price yet. I haven't really done my research on it. I'm at it research. I'm not tuned into the trade. I got it. But what you want to see, just like anything, you want to see.
24 should hold on a pullback.
I appreciate you even going that low, coach.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to see it come back on lower volume, hold the basic weekly, and then option sweeps start to trickle in again. Whether it be short or long term, it doesn't matter. Somebody still wants in again. But you know what? It's a day of, it's a day of it's an odd day. They're taking profits in a lot of stocks. ARM, which had the MU, by the way, which closed very well. But now people stuck in this. The stock will open at 157. Before you know it, within 30 minutes of trading, it's 149. So
Yeah.
people that might have chased the top and still long, still want to pop to get out. Stocks like this need rest. The stock like Abercrombie and Fitch, they're taking profits in a lot of leaders. How about ARM? Well, I already brought up ARM. ELF, by the way, seeing a ton of option calls still in ELF Beauty Supply. You can say whatever you want. It is what it is. CMG, they're taking profits in CMG. This is down a lot more than it looks because it's a 3,500 stock, but it's coming down on a little bit of volume, so they're selling more winners. These stocks, HIMS, another big winner has been, so it's pulling. I'm going back to Schoenfeld days where I'm typing. All right, is this thing over? No. But you know what? I don't think it's going back, to 15. So a lot of these stocks, we'll go to my major charts here. Planeteer, call still going off. That's had a nice run because that's stalling a little bit maybe with the futures. Does that mean it's over? No. There are people with options. This is like this, and this is one of my better trades. All right. Even as Bitcoin was going, this is a HUT. Look at the volume. They were buying, coach. I posted in the room Tuesday, leaps. Just like they were buying leaps in this stock before when it was still
What
going
what
forward.
does HUT do? Is it a
The
Bitcoin
Bitcoin
miner?
mining, yeah,
A mining is working now.
yeah.
More
Well,
than
yeah.
okay.
So is Wolf. Wolf is. I've been talking about. I'm not. I don't know how I'm not in it.
Are they a miner too?
Yes,
Okay, so the theme is even though Bitcoin's pulling back, the miners are outperforming.
I
That's
didn't have to think it,
interesting.
Coach. I mean,
Yeah.
they were pulling back a little bit, but this stock is. And listen, everybody in the room, please, they know it. Ocean Island Trader has been saying it moved another 20. I'm in it. I took a little bit off the table right here. I think I only have like 6,000 shares left. I had 42. To be honest with you, I only had 2,000. What a piker! I wasn't even for the meat of the trade, but I made a good money on it. Don't get me wrong. But what else? Let's go. Let's move on. Apple. I mean, is it over? You know, I don't know yet. But you know what? It feels like Amazon. Amazon felt like it's over. Amazon's taking calls off the board. Now this thing might break out of nowhere. It was
Well,
over.
I've been waiting for one more move over 192 for a
Oh,
short for a third drive.
well, coach,
Uh, so
nobody's been
I,
treating that better than
it
you, so I'm waiting.
so it
And that's
looks like we're there. We're almost there. What we, well, no, we're $7 away still. So we'll
bucks
see.
away. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
uh, Fizzler. These
I don't
solutions.
like that.
No, this stock came in too much distribution too soon to
Yeah, a
this
lot of
solar
divergences on
stocks.
the last
But
look.
they're trading as a group. Well, run. The stocks that are taking action, coach, are oils. Now, I want to ask you a question.
Okay, I like what's happening in oils.
Okay,
I think you could own them through, the fall.
I'm in this Schlumberger.
Okay.
That's I'm not in the
I
people.
mean, maybe Buffett was a tell with what he did with Oxy last week,
I, I mean, that's what he's doing last week, and that's a Warren
right?
Buffet
Yeah,
buying. I think he was buying like 6, 9 days. He bought it 9 days in a row, Warren Buffett.
yeah, that
So,
looks good. So
but
I
options,
like the oils.
I do
And you,
too. But I don't know if the option, coach. This is what I meant to ask you. It looks like the reverse is happening. The commodity is leading the stocks. There's the chart on crude. Here's the chart on Chevron. You
that
know what I
looks
mean?
okay. Yeah,
Here,
the
well, let's look.
commodities leading the shares in miners today too. Silver's going to 33, 34. It's going to make a new high. Gold's going to challenge the high. You see the two highs we've had so far? There's another high coming in at eight. Okay, there you go. Maybe about $33. And gold, pull up the gold. The gold
See
can
gold.
the gold is going to make a run at the highs. Maybe it's going
Wow.
to put in a third drive up there, but a lot of guys talking 2,700
Look
in
at the
gold.
new line.
But
We
then Newmont's the best looking. I was just going to bring that up. Newmont looks so much better than GDX
was taking calls.
or some.
Was taking calls. Held the gap right here. What's your
It
risk?
was such a shallow pullback. It looks more like gold than the rest of the miners. And some
That's
of the silver miners, like AG,
I got a question about that one.
yeah,
You gave it to me down
I
here.
mean, it's an ABC, it's holding, but it's not impressive yet. Doesn't mean it can't be. And that too, look, I mean, these little ones. You got red candles with silver up 3%. That gives me pause at times to my detriment. But I do notice that, they should be having a banner day, not up a little bit with a red candle. So, you know, call me jaded.
No, you're
I
aware.
look I look
You're
for
aware the
things.
price action is leading your sentiment.
Yeah,
Makes
I
it
mean,
easier. You don't have to worry about it. Thinking
I'm
about it.
I'm looking for,
There's the channel. I mean, there's the channel. That's
yeah,
obvious there.
yeah. That looks all right. That
Oh,
could go to
yeah.
48 for a third drive. That looks better than what we just saw in AG. SILJ looks okay. Uh, Walmart.
Still like the coach. Come
Okay.
on. You got to get the props. We never sold it. I don't have as much. You never have as much.
Sell it today.
Oh,
Sell some.
there's no freaking way.
Sell some.
All right. You know what? Okay. There's the week. You know what? The weekly's more stretched than the daily.
Sell some.
Well, I have a short. I have a short here on my list. Dollar General. What else shorts? I have a couple of shorts on list, Coach. Morgan
Yeah, what?
Stanley,
Like it?
GE, the short list. Ooh, I don't. That to get
I
scratched.
don't like
Oh,
that. No, I don't know.
some interns fired on that idea.
I
Oh,
wouldn't short that.
boom, that gets crushed. What the hell? That I apologize. JP and the boys. No, I don't
Uh,
know, Coach.
one more high coming in the banks. XLF looks like Amazon to me. That could rally for one more high above 42,
All
and
right,
that'd be a third drive. So, anyway, that's
all right. So Planeteer hanging good stocks like TJ Maxx. They're not barn burners, but they're stocks that still have volume and they're at the highs. I mean, it's a new high list. The new high list breakout list has been working. I mean, until like MU, you could buy break new break high in MU at every day at 10 o'clock. Break high, break high, break high,
I
break high.
don't like this candle.
No, that's a concerning candle. But you know what? I have to. You know what? Let's see what it's all. They've been trading. Micron's a little expensive here. Not.
Yeah.
you know, they're trading the SMHs. So the question is, am I seeing any, ooh, look at that.
Yeah,
Any puts?
SMH is trying to do one of those key reversals that I talked about earlier in the show.
Yeah, coach, I wouldn't, you know, I'm not biased. I don't care if it was the AAA symbol. It
There's
looks
going to be
great.
some rotation out of the semis and the leadership into more value stocks and special situations like you trade, in my view.
Okay, I appreciate that. I agree.
Okay. And
Listen,
and into oils,
I
man.
like them. I like them. And you know what? The oils that I've seen in sweeps here, look at my main page here, HUT.
How can you have a blackout in Kuwait with all the oil
I
they
don't know.
pump?
It's like Bill Gates tripping over the plug and knocking out all the windows. You know, how do you trip over the plug and wipe out the whole country? It's that absurd.
Yeah. Anyway, I like oil, and I'm usually bearish everything, but I like
You're
oil.
not that bad. You're
But
not.
I'll tell you, I've been saying for a while,
That's the one.
even if you're bearish crude, it's not worth the trade for one day you come in and overnight it's up $10 a barrel on some type of event in the Persian Gulf. So, it's not worth that kind of risk.
And you know what? What's been happening with those type of risk, coach, that the tell on them reacting after those type of news has been the tell for some time after, whether it's be buying that pop, if you will, that holds.
Yeah.
That
This
has been
that looks
all
okay.
the Kuwait news has been sell the rip. It's been holding. It held. I
Yeah.
mean, it sold off on every good news. Maybe the opposite happens. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think, and you know what, Mike?
This is
Something
looking good.
else, and it relates to the bond market and where I think TLT could go to eventually. Do you know that every recession that we've had started with an oil shock?
No, I didn't actually. I'm not that. I left that to
Okay.
the professionals.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
No, I
that's
didn't.
true, or at least a majority of them. So we'll see if we have one more oil shock out there.
Interesting.
Certainly enough geo stuff for that to happen. I've never seen the geo stuff more messy in my whole life. I know everyone goes, oh, we've gone through this before. And, what about then? And what about then?
Coach, I read in the New York Post, and you know everything's true if it's in the Post. There's a, there's freaking like 9 submarines 200 up to 200 miles off the coast of like Carolina or something sitting there.
yeah,
Nobody's even there.
yeah,
But you know, why should I? If they look, you know, the market says all.
yeah, yeah. It cares till it does. It doesn't care
Freaking
till it
like 9
does.
submarines sitting out near Carnival Cruise Line gambling ships, and nobody even that's what it is. But whatever.
It's kind of unusual. All right,
Uh,
what's this? That's you.
that's a Canadian a oil stock, if you will,
Oh,
natural gas
okay.
stock. You brought up Canada before.
Yeah. So that's another reason. Maybe can you buy Canadian stocks and not only get the appreciation of price on the stock, but also get the appreciation of the currency of the Canadian dollar?
On trade view markets?
I mean, you buy Canadian stock and it's not dollar hedged. It's Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
So the Canadian dollars appreciating as well as the stock price, where you get like a double bang. Like some people
No,
would
that
buy.
sounds, coach. That sounds like I forgot what I ate for breakfast. That sounds like currency arbitrage to me. You know, that's
Okay, well, I mean,
I know TradeView has an answer.
some people buy ETFs that are dollar hedged, and they made money when the dollar was still okay. Um, and may have been something in Japan, and the yen got creamed, but they made money because they were hedged. They
No,
they did it in dollars.
that's a
You
fair
know,
point. And I'm going to say something for myself. And it doesn't sound as egregious statement as it sounds. I don't hedge. By the way, I
okay,
don't have to hedge because I very rarely even have 50, percent of my capital out there. And that's
yeah.
my hedge.
So
So
I
I'm not
bought
saying it's
some.
wrong, but I don't, that's
I went out to. There is one option sweep I think you missed, and Jesus missed. It was Dale Pinker bought 20 December SQQQ 10 calls for 74 cents today.
okay. I wouldn't talk you out of that trade at all.
So there,
Matter of fact,
there it
that's
is.
got decent volume as of 11 and change AM
Okay.
on a Thursday afternoon after I'm not going to lie. It
I,
does.
you know,
Hey,
I'm
by the
not
way,
saying
I don't know. I don't.
I'm not saying this is the day, but I'll build a position in a trade like this, and my bet is that between now and the end of the year, there's a hiccup, a pretty good one that's indigestion, especially going into the elections. So we'll see.
Wouldn't talk. Listen, that's like talking you out of a 20-1 shot at the. I can't talk you out of that
Yeah,
trade.
yeah. So they sure are cheap.
But
Um,
that's decent volume. I get it's cheap and protection's cheap. Listen. I get it. I get the SQQ trade.
yeah,
And
yeah, and so that's
it's a lot
already
easier. By the way, it's a lot easier than trying to pick a top on the video, building a position on
yeah,
this a little bit. That's
yeah,
that's even and I don't really like trading VIX products or triple
yeah,
ETFs.
yeah,
Like it, well, maybe for positions, but I'm
yeah.
not.
So I'm even buying options on
Well,
on
so
that.
sick. Now you're talking. Forget about the currency arbitrage. You're buying options on the VIX, on the Q. That's brilliant.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my
Anyway,
language.
all right, buddy.
And
So
by the way, we have all the options if you want TradeView markets. Every vehicle you have, you can speak to Jason, who's the head of our VIX and options trading.
yeah,
Yeah, another thing is we have experts. We got a guy.
yeah.
Yeah,
We got a guy for you.
yeah. Any
Anyway,
questions?
you and Alexis are doing a great job in the room. Nice interaction. I'm not in there all the time, and Alexis forwards questions to me because I'm not in there all the time.
Neither am
So,
I.
so guys, if you're leaving questions for me, Alexis Skypes them to me, and I'm coming back in and answering them for you. Okay?
100%.
Because the U.S. is closed. Look at that shirt, Hope, and it was Bitcoin in the middle.
It wasn't even. It was not. But by the way, I'm not going to overlook that hope. One thing you
That's
never want in trading, by the way, but probably in life. I like to
life,
think. I
life
like
more
to
than
think more. I like to think more of faith than hope, but they're analogous.
well, they're both.
That's
Yeah,
existential.
yeah,
Next,
yeah, yeah. You need to have faith to be hopeful. So, anyway,
and medicated.
what do you want to wrap it with here?
This was yesterday's video, probably when I was out. Thanks for covering. But you want to talk about comments? Please go and this is not. We're a free service. What a privilege. Thank you, Dale, for keeping it real. Thank more Dale, the better. The more Dale, the better. I get it. You lead by example. Excellent session. Great video. Took notes. Great Dale again. Love the discussion. I'd love a detailed video on gold and silver. We gave it just a little bit. Dale gave it. Thank you, Dale. Really great interaction, and that's a testament to the quality that we give. Dale gives, again, leading by example. And it's not going to stop anytime soon. We're not trying to split the atom, and we don't. We go upon sentiment, fundamentals, charts, option flow, volume. Those are, this is a meal. We give you the fork, the spoon, the knife. We're not giving you any other type of anything to use. It's the basics. It's up to you. Enjoy your meal. From there, we're here to guide you, and that's what TradeGATEHub and all our videos are about. Coach, would you like to leave with anything?
Yeah, stay in tune in June because we're going to fly in July.
Okay, good.
All right.
That's fine.
That's the way I feel it
Okay,
intuitively.
Coach, I appreciate that. Well, we're not going to stop. We're here to give high-level
Yeah.
opinions. If we're wrong, we're wrong, and we know where to pivot if we are. That's all. And by the way, I want to say something else for anybody. Let me leave this, Coach. This is important because Tim says this a lot. A trade like this, I bring up. It's not to try to, and Tim says this, and I agree with it. When you can get me to do things agreed. There's my try to trade on the Qs or HUT when I make whatever 40,000. Believe me, I sold it at 13 and a half. It was 12. My average price was a little cheaper. It's not to impress to you. It's to impress upon you that, I'm in losers. Don't get me wrong. But when they look like this, you know what I mean? And I'm following and I'm active and there's option sweeps and volume and everything like that. You might be wrong, but net, if you do this over time, your outs are going to be easier and the money you make is going to be easier. You know what I mean? I had a stock like CMTL. This stock, was 218 and it closed at 445. I'm watching this morning. It's only down 22 cents. If it was bad, it would have been down $1, 50%. They tried to shake me out. I'm still in front of it. You know what I mean? This I still like. I think it's still, by the way, the low this morning, don't get me wrong, was 366 and I have 20,000 of it. So 366,
Yeah.
to 440, do the math. I mean, that's, $18,000, $16,000 move. I'm not looking at the money. I try not to, but it is what it is. But, I still think this has room. Why? volume, option flow, range, price action. It's got the 200-day of support. I don't really want it to pull a fizzler and come in that steep, but I looked at it. It's not like I'm going blindly. It's still acting well. You can go to the proverbial weekly moving average, which
Yeah.
might have some.
Eight,
Yeah. So,
7. Yeah.
and that's
Nice
something that
candle.
we do. Something like the Nvidia is obviously all eyes are upon it, and everybody's trying to. It's a tug of war. We all get what we're trying to do, but and that's a common thought. It should be a common thought, at least a first level common thought, that you should be watching the Nvidia at these prices. But in due time, we're looking at other things and trading that. Well, that actually being that the trade's over. It's more a gauge of the market, in my opinion, at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, in both the Nasdaq and Nvidia,
That's the trade.
keep an eye out for a key reversal,
Yeah.
and buy this break in TLT. I think we're going to take out that high, Mike, on the previous chart that we had there. We'll take out that high at par
You
that
are
we
tuned
made
into
at
the
the end of,
trade.
yeah, and go to maybe 105 with an
Look,
outside shot of 120. Pull up your weekly TLT and you'll
oh,
see why I'm thinking 120. There you go. And you know what? If you take the whole bear market of TLT from its highs, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago to the recent low, 120 is 38% back of that total decline. So it's just still a bear market rally, but I'll trade TLT for this kind of bear market rally.
well, coach,
Um,
what put us in the trade to it? Well, obviously, it's
oh yeah, you're selling puts at the
well, that's it.
bottom
All right,
down
now
there.
we're tuned into it. Now
Yeah,
it's making macro sense as well. So
yeah,
hopefully you get that's the play.
yeah, yeah.
The
I think there's still a lot of bond bears out there. And Paul gave him hope when he pushed back last week, but you know, and the emerging market bonds look even better, like India. So anyway, weaker dollar, lower yields should be jet fuel for the market. If the market is not going to perform with these tailwinds, pay attention to key reversals. That's all I have to say. And because it should be, they're not headwinds. A strong dollar and higher rates are headwinds, not lower rates and a weaker dollar. And the weaker dollar is more bullish maybe on commodities than on stocks. Maybe things like oil and gold and commodity markets, a weaker dollar is going to have more impact than it would on Nvidia. Okay, I mean, Nvidia isn't as much of an export driven thing like commodities are. Anyway, we've been talking our butts off for a while, haven't we?
Has it? I don't know, but I'm going to tell you, guys are asking the right questions. Guy wants to ask about HPE. I mean, it's a position that, I mean, now you want to build a position, trade's over. You know what I mean? We were
Yeah,
on the trade, you get it. And
yeah,
I didn't, you never make as much, but you're asking questions about Chewy and HPE. These are now position trades. You buy 100 at a time, you wait for sweeps to come in, you get feelers. This is no longer, take a step up and buy a little bit above your line on a breakout with options coming in. You knew there was a conference coming in. So that was the plan. They basically bought and we were on the stock with the conference on Tuesday. They bought the rumor and took profits in the news. I don't say it's over.
yeah,
Right now, it's like a Chewy trade to me.
yeah.
So
See what it does on a pullback.
yeah, right. It's go ahead, coach. That's all.
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And if you're watching us, you're in better shape than a lot of Americans that worry about should I get my medicine or pay my mortgage? So be grateful. You know why? I have a challenge for you. You can't be grateful and depressed simultaneously. If you don't believe me, try it.
I've
Okay,
never
buddy.
met a successful trader that was unhappy.
Okay. Oh, what did they burned me
Serious.
in the
I'm serious. They're
I
usually
know.
bears, don't get me wrong.
Turn on the
Look at
machines.
this
Turn
thing,
them on.
Zap. What's wrong with Zap right here? Look at this thing. Already 400% of its volume. 4 times 8, actually 300% of its volume, whatever it is. So range, price, action, volume. There's your SQQQ. All right.
Oh, look
By
at
the
it,
way,
huh?
like I said, for the Thursday after, for some Thursday afternoon into after Wednesday, it is what it is. Numbers don't lie. It has 50%. It should have. I don't know. That's 50%. It's 50% of, 60% of its volume as of 11:30. So, it is what it is.
All right, buddy. Good hunting.
You too. Thanks for tuning in,
All right,
everybody.
buddy.
I'll try to do better the next time.
See you in the room and get some rest.
Cheers. Thanks.
Adios. All
Cheers.
right, bud. See